main base?
Looks like we're going to get the two bottom spawn positions. Doesn't really matter too much on this map. The cross positions and the two players on bottom are actually very, very similar. Just because... they're actually very similar just because of the way the ramps are. The travel time is basically the same. The air travel time is obviously shorter this way. So mutas or banshees or some kind of drop play is going to be stronger. It is going to be stronger on these positions. It took me like 5 times reading what Scvrush just said to get it. But it's not top bottom right. I was like, wait, what? Scvrush going for that single depot up there again. That means probably no 2 racks. Now he did do the macro racks at one, for one, but I don't know if we'll see him do that again.
I'm really hoping to see a 15 hatch by Onemanzerg this time around, and it looks like that might happen. It's Shakura's Plateau. Why wouldn't you 15 hatch? Looks like he's actually just going to 14 hatch, which is a little safer. I mean, you cut a drone, and so 14 hatch is actually worse for economy than 15 hatch, for anyone who's wondering why I make the distinction. 14 hatch just comes out earlier, so you can get the spine crawler started earlier, which was a really big deal whenever 2 racks first became popular, because Zerg had a very, very hard time dealing with it without having that spine crawler down. Looks like there's a little drone harass going on over here in the base of Scvrush. Actually, Onemanzerg almost got that SCV, and I mean that would be huge. I'm not sure why Scvrush is rallying that Marine over. I would not advise him to go over to Onemanzerg's base with a single Marine. Oh, okay, he's building a bunker right under that Overlord, but Onemanzerg is not pulling drones. If he actually lets that bunker finish... it's on the way, but okay, now he's finally pulling drones. Isn't that an evolution chamber?
Wait, oh, it is. What is he doing?
This is either the ballsiest play ever or the biggest mistake ever.
I think that's definitely the biggest mistake ever.
Oh,
he's
wow.
Gonna have to defend. Okay.
Yep.
If Scvrush, I don't think he sees. He doesn't see.
Yeah, and he's actually pulling his Marines back.
If he catches on, he can actually just take his SCVs and go right now, and it will be an instant win. I don't know why there's not at least one or two, I don't know why there's at least not 2 spine crawlers going down right now, because Scvrush
well, I mean,
could
he can't make them.
Kill.
He doesn't have a spawning pool.
Oh, you need a spawning pool for spine crawlers too?
Yeah, you need a spawning pool for spine crawlers.
Oh God, I don't. Why, Scvrush? Why are you building a reactor? Just go.
Well, it looks like he's finally going...
Let's go in Reactor Hellion.
Yeah,
okay,
Reactor Hellion.
The one game where he could have actually just killed him with the barracks, he takes my advice and goes Reactor Hellion. It looks like this actually, enough time has passed that the spawning pool is actually done. We're seeing double queens come out. A lot of drones out right now because that's all Onemanzerg could make for a little bit. So, I mean, I guess this is going to just kind of go into a normal game with, I mean, honestly, Onemanzerg in a huge, huge, huge lead because he was able to build so many more drones and already has this Evo chamber. He might as well just go ahead and, get an extractor just so he can use the Evo chamber he already has.
Yeah, I'm surprised how this game is sort of played out. It's sort of one of those situations where as an observer you watch it and you're like, wow, this is a free win right now, but because the players don't see what we see, they're trying to play cautious and make sure they don't make any blunders.
Scvrush was not poking the front, and this isn't his fault because he did only have 1 barracks. So he should not have been able to do any damage, and it should have been a bad idea to poke the front. But had he been poking the front like you would with a 2 racks, he would have saw no lings, and he would have just went in and killed him. It looks like, look, he's even stopping after 4 Hellions to make the command center. I like where this is going. Now I just want to see, well, he's following it up with Cloak Banshee. So not exactly but he could still, after the Cloak Banshees, do another factory, and that would make me happy. Looks like we got the Hellions going in here. They are going to get into the main, all of them, and there's a lot of drones in that line, and they get a good hit.
Oh my!
Not the best.
Oh, there we go.
I told you, Hellions.
I was like, what is Scvrush doing? He's aiming for the Queen.
Yeah.
Wow, we have 14 drones on the way right now to replenish his losses.
Look at all those kills, though. That actually brings the worker count back to even. After not even building any Zerglings until 28 supply.
That's 18 worker kills
drones
for Scvrush.
That was a huge amount of worker kills, and that was 4 Hellions, not Blue Flame, just 4 Hellions, and then stopping.
Even more workers going down right now, thanks to this Banshee harass.
Yeah, and now we have the Cloak Banshee harass coming in. Cloak's not even done yet, and he's doing damage. Though, to be honest, I'm not a fan of him actually doing the Cloak Banshee follow-up because the Evo chamber, but I guess he still didn't know. I mean, he never scanned, but if I were him...
you should have seen it when he ran in with his...
Oh, that's true, too. Yeah, I would have canceled Cloak. Use the Banshees, sure, but there's no point in getting Cloak once you know there's going to be Spore Crawlers. And he's following this up with some Siege Tanks. I mean, it's the safe choice. I would have liked to have seen Blue Flame and another factory, but tanks are the safe choice. He's also making a medevac. With how low the economy is for Onemanzerg, and the fact that he's kind of relying on these Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawlers for defense, I would kind of like to see that medevac just drop 4 Marines and a Siege Tank over on the over on the ledge here. Maybe put the Siege Tank on the low. Yeah, maybe do the Siege Tank on the low ground, the Marines up top, and just see what he can pressure that way. Losing 1 Siege Tank is usually a big deal, but when you're up by this much, it's not that big of a deal anymore.
Definitely. I'm actually curious to see. Yeah, Scvrush actually doesn't have Stim Pack or Combat Shields yet on his Marines, so I don't think we're going to see him get aggressive anytime soon, because whenever you push out, with your Marine tank army, you always want to have at least Stim Pack, if not Stim Pack and Combat Shield. So
I think we're going to see double tech labs on these barracks and then try to research them both at once. No, actually a reactor on one of those barracks. I don't know. I feel like the 2 tech labs, even though you'd get less Marines that way, you wouldn't get that many fewer, and you get both Stim and Combat Shields at the same time, which I think would have paid off very quickly. He doesn't really have enough gas, though, I guess, to get them all. But if he had taken those 2 other refineries earlier, and then just all at once started Stim, Combat Shields, and +1 weapons, he could have geared up for a really, really strong timing push. We got a Banshee coming in here. It's probably not going to get a lot done. It might have a little spot where it can just kind of stand back and
pick off some drones. It is being detected, though. Wow.
Yeah, it's being detected, so it may, if it's lucky, be able to go back in, get a drone kill or something. But not that big of a deal. Looking at the Harvesters, Onemanzerg is finally back ahead, 52 to 48. Not a huge lead, not the lead he wants to have, but at least he is ahead and not behind anymore.
Looks like Scvrush is going for that 3-tank, 2-base timing that I was referring to in the post-game after the last match. So
yes, the 3-base, it's a good timing. He delayed that Stim too much. He's not going to have Stim for this. Now, it may not matter.
Yeah.
He's so far ahead, it really may not matter.
And Onemanzerg has no standing army. He has 56 drones and 2 Zerglings.
Now, he actually has enough Marines that he can really just go up, kill these Spine Crawlers, and just take out drones. That's what I'd like to see him do, because there are mutas on the way. Once the mutas get out, the tanks can be picked off. But, I mean, there's a decent number of Marines here, and Stim will be finished pretty soon. 2 medevacs with a good energy count. I think as long as he, just pressures right now.
Oh, looks like Onemanzerg is going to pick off 2 siege tanks for the price of a single Mutalisk? Maybe 2?
1 muta. And, I don't think Scvrush knows about the 3rd yet. I don't think he knows that third is down. I think he's going to go check, and that's the smart thing to do is go ahead and go check. But if he goes and kills that third, I think this game is over. A 1-base Zerg is not going to do too well against a 2, soon-to-be 3-base Terran.
But I definitely think rather than trying to go for this third base, or I guess now second base, he could have probably just pushed in and killed him by going straight into.
He could have. I think either way is a good choice, though. Because you either kill the economy or you kill the tech, depending on which route you go. And the only risk about going to killing the tech is that you know that there's mutas up there. You don't know how many. Because you see mutas and lings, you could safely assume there's probably also banelings, but you don't know how many. There's a lot more variables with doing that, but you know that the third is going to be undefended because you just killed the standing army. Actually, it looks like there's a little counterattack going on. No, maybe not. Wait, there's no ling speed. These are still slow Zerglings.
Oh my goodness. And there is no baneling nest either. This game has just not worked out in Onemanzerg's favor after taking that last map.
Not. It has absolutely not worked out in his favor.
But he's picking off these siege tanks, getting some mules getting medevacs. Wow.
He's causing a lot of damage here. I mean, looking at the harvesters,
Scvrush has just gifted in a lot of units.
Scvrush is floating a lot of minerals right now, and this, honestly, Scvrush and Onemanzerg, they still play quite a bit, but they tend to play 2v2 or other team games, which are much more low economy. And I've noticed this when playing with Onemanzerg, is that once he gets to the 3 to the 4 base economy, he has trouble with floating money because he's not used to having that at his disposal. In a team game, if you're on 4 base, you've practically already won because apparently your opponents are dead.
Definitely true.
You don't see that kind of thing in a team game. And Scvrush is the same way. You can see he has a really hard time spending his money. The few times that his money is low is because he's doing something like, replacing a command center and all the turrets that died along with it, And some pretty good muta harassment here. Onemanzerg could fight his way. He could claw his way back into this game if he keeps up the muta harassment. Scvrush does have Thors out now, though. It's going to be very, very hard for Onemanzerg to get much done. Looks like he's going to pick off the +1 upgrade. That's not, that's pretty good. That +1 weapon upgrade would make these Marines much better against the mutas. Losing a couple mutas there as he flies by. The muta harass is looking to be shut down now once those Thors, make it into the natural. But Onemanzerg really needs that, so he's going to need to find a way to keep the pressure on, be it with the mutas or, with some speedling run-bys. He needs to do something because his economy is not strong enough to produce enough units to actually take out this army.
Definitely. I mean, he's done a really good job of, getting back into this game. He's back up to 56 drones. He's retaken his natural and he's trying to retake his third base, but it's definitely going to be hard to try to win this with this standing army that Scvrush has.
Could Magic box those Thors right now while there's no Marines nearby, but it looks like the Thors are going to catch up. This base is going down. There's no Baneling nest. This is going to be... that's going to be GG. If there were a Baneling nest, he would have had a chance, because there was only one tank in that army. Thors, they're good against Banelings, but they don't kill the Banelings before they get your Marines.